Yeah.
Go ahead and duck down, Don. There you go. Just like that. Just stay right there. Just like that. Then go back in. There you go. There she goes. Boom.
I got it.
There.
Oh, this is so nasty.
Oh no! What?
What happened?
Oh my god.
I thought we were friends.
You couldn't take her. She was too big.
Oh my god.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Lucky by Nature. So things seem to be changing quite often with Aberration, and as you can see now, the queen has a glow to her when she's ready to do her business, where we didn't have that on the last video that I did. This just came in today. So, you know, that's something that you need to know. But other than that, as soon as you get pregnant, you gotta go and kill as much as you can. I would also like you to notice that we did put doors on the cliff because we ended up dying actually. Apparently when I did it by myself, it was much easier just because, you know, there was no other dinos or anything like that. But once we brought dinos with us, like a rock drake and my Reaper King, we realized real quick that they would get hit and they could either go down there or we ourselves would get hit and we would go flying. And so it was a little tough. So if you do decide to build here, just be aware of that. And it will probably take a bit of work. And there, like I said before on the other video, there are a lot of queens, Reaper queens, which is good and bad. It's good because obviously you're going to get better choices. Like we're going for the really high ones, 135s and higher, because if we're gonna put all this time in, obviously we want it to be worth it. But it is kind of bad because a lot of them come at you, especially when you're coming in. I noticed that it is much easier to either come in on a rock drake or just glide in with your glider. But if you haven't seen my other video that shows you basically how to get pregnant, how to get impregnated, and how it works, and all that good stuff, I will go ahead and put a link up on the right upper corner, so that way you can go check that out. But anyways, so now let's move on. So here we are going around with our crab, and I'm trying to kill a lot of things because you can get up to 75 levels. But it is important to know that the higher the level the queen that impregnates you is, the higher the level your baby is going to be. If you get a level 10 queen to impregnate you, and you get your 75 points or levels, you're only going to get a total of level 85 when it comes out. And then, of course, on top of that, you can get some more levels. I got impregnated by a level 150 queen. So mine should be at 225. Now, another thing that you need to know is you can kill things with dinos like this, but I'm only getting about 160 points by killing, this specific dino. It was at level 50, and so I killed 2 of them, and I got about 161 points for each. Now, if we look over here, there's another level 50. I don't know why there's so many, but we'll go ahead and kill it with our shotgun. So I can show you the difference here. And as you can see, I got over 300, I believe around 330, 331 points from me doing it myself. So it's better to go out and kill everything on your own. All right, so you can get to your 75 points much faster if you do it by yourself. Now we are ready. As you can see, we got 5 minutes till our baby is born. So you make sure that you have plenty of meat. And also make sure you have pheromones on you. And you can get those by killing the Reaper Queens. And you are going to need a lot of them. Now here we are. I put my pheromone although on my first quick slot, and I wait until about 10 seconds. All right, there we go. Now the pheromone is on. So now we should be fine. And it shouldn't try to kill me. But as you can see, we only have 300 seconds. And it busted out of my chest. I'm pretty hurt. But you gotta go right to it right away. And you gotta imprint on it. And as you can see, the little guy just wants to move around. And I forgot my bruise, my medical bruise, but that's alright. I should continue gaining health. And so as you can see, it is a level 225. So this is going to be a monster. That's the 150 plus the 75 extra levels that you can get. So yeah, all that people are under the misconception that they start out at level 1 and you can go up to 75 after that, which it's nonsense. But now let's move on. So here, we're not moving very fast. This server is at 4 times and it's still going pretty slow. I carried this baby for 3 hours. Of course, if you're an official, you will carry it for 12. And it's going to take me approximately an entire day, basically feeding it and all that good stuff, just like normal. If you do run out of pheromone, you better get the heck out of there, because it will attack you. As you can see, I am getting close to running out, and I will show you here in a sec. Earlier I was in there and it did come at me as I was trying to put another one in, and it nearly got me. But what I'm gonna do is I am going to go right around here, and as you can see, here it comes, and it'll know that I'm really close, and it'll come at me and try to attack me. And see, so make sure that you build a box, basically, that you can keep the baby in there. Because who knows what will happen if it's outside. It might attack everything it sees. So you don't want to do that. And like I said before, it is extremely important to have a lot of that pheromone, because you will have to feed it by hand constantly. And like I said, it's only 300 seconds. So it is very important. And obviously, once it gets to juvenile, it should go on the trough, but until then you're gonna have to feed it constantly, just like you would like a Rex or something like that. And even if you have Structures Plus, that doesn't work. It will not imprint on your baby, and it will not feed it. It does do like the little dogs and all the other little things. It does imprint on those, but it will not feed those either. So you have to hand feed them until they're juveniles. One other thing that I want you to notice is that if you look where it says raised by, it doesn't have a name, which is kind of weird. And at first it did freak me out. So if you see that, do not freak out. You're still going to get the buff, because you will still get the little hands whenever you write it. But yeah, I did notice that, there, and it is what it is. They're still working out all the little glitches. But like I said, as long as you still see the little hands, you should be fine. And so here we are. My baby is fully grown, and here's what the stats look like. But it is pretty strong. It's very, very strong. One thing I noticed is they do not sink into the water, so they don't have to worry about drowning. They always float. Even if you try to push them down into the water, to swim under, it will not work. It will not happen. Of course, you have that acid that seems to be doing damage, and it's quite useful. There's that spin that you see quite a bit from the kings, Reaper Kings that are attacking you throughout here. And it is pretty easy to kill everything. But as you notice, there is all that glow and all that coming out of its body, and that's because I have one of those little light shoulder pets. And that is very important because it does make everything else pretty weak. I did take it out without one of those pets, and it was hard to kill anything pretty much. But also, I ended up fighting other Reaper Kings, and it was an endless fight. And in fact, my Reaper ended up going to like less than half health because it was really, really hard. And so even though you wear this little pet and it makes you weaker, it does make them a lot weaker. If you don't carry it with you, it does make your Reaper stronger, but it also makes the enemy, the wild ones, a hell of a lot stronger. So they get very, very reduced damage. And I know that there's a big debate about Gigas in here, but we'll find out how that goes because, like I said, I was able to bring Gigas in before they fixed it. And so I believe that if we have one of these little pets, we should be able to rip right through those Reaper Queens without too much issue. Our Gigas are somewhere close to 500 melee by now. So, but we'll see. Well, some of them are. But we'll see how that goes. But that's pretty much it in a shell. But here, let me show you basically what other cool things this thing can do. Because it is pretty fun. Baby, you gotta see this.
What?
Come over this way.
Huh,
Unless you're up.
no, I just...
Okay, check this out.
Okay. Oh my god. Oh my god. What?
she jumped the whole building.
Oh, what?
Oh, there's a ledge up
I
there.
did not know they did that.
No, I didn't even know that either until now. Like
Jumping sideways.
she just jumped over the PMA gates like
Oh
nothing.
my god. I'm gonna get
And it jumped sideways. That was pretty sweet.
My work saved the human race.